Hi friends, welcome back. So we finally have a new collection. So this collection is the 2024 fall collection for New Look, and I'm so excited to share with you my first impressions of this collection. I normally wait a couple days to see if they are going to have more releases so that I can group them into one video. However, I was so excited to share this with you today that I decided to go ahead and share with you my thoughts of this collection this weekend, because I have other things that I want to share with you next week. And I'm just really, really excited to share with you what this collection is about. Let's see if it was worth the wait. So let's go ahead and start off with the New Look in 6794. This is a pattern that has a jacket and a pair of pants. The description reads that we have a fitted unlined jacket that has a notch collar, patch pockets, long sleeves, bust darts, and stitched hems. Ankle length pants have invisible side seam zipper. So I love that this is unlined. So that's one of the things that I love. And then also I love that you get the pants to go with the jacket. In other collections, we have seen with patterns that's similar to this, you only get the jacket or the pants. I'm so glad that they included both into the collection. Unfortunately, you can only purchase this in a paper copy. They don't have PDF for this, and the size range is 8 to 20. So I do love that they go up to that size 20. New Look usually stop at around, sometimes they go 10 to 18, sometimes they go 10 to 16, and occasionally you'll see a size 20 or 22. They do go up to the size 22, and you all know I always talk about how I wish that they can expand their pattern range size for New Look. However, it's been like this for a while, so I don't think that we'll have any patterns that expand past that 20 or 22. But looking at the line art detail here, it looks pretty promising. I love that you do have a side seam zipper and you do have a front and back waistband for your pair of pants. You don't have any other closures, so you don't have to worry about any other zipper closures like a fly front zipper closure in the front or button details or anything like that. So it should be relatively simple and easy because you're not lining the pants. You're not lining the jacket either. You do have a notch collar. That's a little bit of an advanced technique, more around the intermediate technique, but you still have some wiggle room here to learn different techniques if you are in the beginner or advanced beginner stage here. You do have a bust dart that's on your jacket, which I think will give your front jacket some shaping. So I love that. And then you have button details going down the center front of the jacket. And then you also have those pockets on the front. I think this is a pretty decent pattern. If you don't have anything like this in your stash, I think this would be a really great pattern to actually grab because you have both your jacket and your pants in one envelope. And I really love that about it. And it's unlined. If you do want to line your jacket later on and you develop more sewing techniques, it's really easy to go ahead and line your jacket. All you have to do is cut out the same pattern pieces, but shorten the hem of your jacket. And then you have a lined jacket. So it's really simple, easy. I love that they've made this and put this inside the collection. I think that would be really great for advanced beginners and intermediate sewists alike. Next, we have the New Look in 6793, which looks like it's going to be a bias cut skirt. I really like this fitted through the hips, and it flares out as you're going down the hip there. So you do get like a little bit of a flowy skirt at the bottom there at your hem. The description reads that we have skirts that are fitted through the hip and have facings and visible side zipper, narrow hems, and length variations. And for view B, you have a side slit. This looks pretty simple, easy to sew. We all know that famous McCall's pattern that has been so trendy and so popular in the sewing community. I think this is going to be similar to that one. I think this one, this pattern does not have a waistband. So it looks like you're going to be putting facings on the inside of the garment and you don't have a waistband for the outside of the garment. I would say that this is probably very similar to that McCall's pattern. So if you have that McCall's pattern, and I'll put an image of what that looks like here. If you have that pattern, you probably don't need to get this pattern. But if you are a new sewer and you want something in your stash, this would be a good alternative. Again, it's only in paper copy, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that all of the New Look patterns in this collection, paper copy only. For the size range, you get 6 to 18. So see, I told you don't get, those expanded sizes there. So this one only goes up to that size 18. So I think that's like a drawback for me. However, very beautiful pattern, very easy to sew, perfect for your beginners and advanced beginners. Next, we have the New Look in 6792. This comes in sizes 4 to 16. So now we have a size less than we had in the previous skirt pattern, which it's again a little bit of a drawback for me. The description reads that we have pencil skirts in 3 lengths, have front princess seams and back darts. And you have knee length variations as well. A and B have back slits. View A has a peplum and an optional trim. Mini length C and mid calf length D have side front slits, and your skirt have an invisible zipper closure. So I do like this skirt. I'm right on the cusp. I can, depending on the style and also the brand, I am usually between a 16 and an 18 when it comes to commercial patterns. If the size run a little large, I can get away with the 14, but this is going to be right on the cusp for me. And so that might be a drawback for a few of you, but I do like that you have the different panels, and I'll put some images here so you can see what it looks like. This variation that is featured in this beautiful magenta or this pink color is just absolutely stunning to me. I love the different panels. You have a waistband. You also have a little bit of a slit there, not too much, but a little bit of a cute slit there, which I absolutely love. And then if you want to make a longer variation, you can make a longer variation of that. I'm not too fond of the peplum style. However, the other skirts are so beautiful. I wish that you could have more sizes. I wish we had more sizes for this, and including plus sizes. I think that would have made it just an exceptional sewing pattern here, but we don't have the plus size. But I do think that it would be so easy to size this up, maybe up to a 22, maybe even a 24, depending on the design of the pattern here. But I love this. I love that we have that back zipper, and it looks like we also have, it looks like we might have a variation that have a kickback pleat as well. So yeah, I do like that. Next, we have the New Look in 6797. So this pattern come in sizes 6 to 18. And I'm going to have to say, I'm not very fond of this pattern. However, there was a simplicity pattern years ago, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. If I can find the number and also the pattern, I will put an image here so that you can see what it looks like. I sewed the skirt. It's a pleated skirt and a top pattern. And I sewed the pleated skirt out of that pattern. And this top looks very, very similar to that pattern. I think it probably is the same pattern. Looking at the details, we have like this crossover crop top. You have a what looks like a mid-length sleeve. You have a sleeveless option and also a shorter sleeve option. And it has like this peekaboo cutout right near like the crevice like of the arm, where the armpit and the shoulder meets the lower shoulder. If you're not someone who likes to show your tummy, this is not going to be the pattern for you. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Then we have the New Look in 6790. And this one come in sizes 6 to 18. I'm really sad to see that this is not in like a size 20 or 22. particularly because this is a button-down shirt, and button-down shirts, you really do need that extra room. I wish they went up to the extra size there, and I'm speaking personally for myself because I usually need an 18 or a 20. So I'm sad to see that. I've been sewing a lot of button-up shirts lately, and I would have loved to sew this one. This has bust darts and what looks like to be front darts, and also, let's see here, back darts. So we have a lot of darting. You even have back darts on the top of the shoulder and the back. You have a collar stand. You also have a cuff for your long sleeve option, and then you also have a short sleeve option as well. You don't have a collar. I'm sorry, you don't have a placket, a button placket there. So this would be relatively easy to sew. However, I love to have my plackets. The description reads that we have fitted blouse that has a pointed shirt collar band shaped hem, darts, and a narrow hem. View A has short sleeves. View B has long sleeves with a continuous lap and pleats and a button cuff. So, and this is rated as average. I do think that it's a really decent pattern, but we do have a lot of button-up tops. I love, there are a few butterick patterns that I love that are similar to this, as well as a few simplicity patterns. I've been sewing Vogue patterns these days for my button tops and things of that nature, but I think this one would be a relatively easy sew for those of you who are at this stage of sewing. Next, we have the New Look in 6789, come in sizes 8 to 18. The description reads that we have jackets that have princess seams, neckline, trim, and sleeve variations, and it is average. I love the princess seam details because, again, anytime you have a jacket that have princess seams, more than likely you will not have to do a bust adjustment or anything like that. But because this pattern only goes up to a size 18, it is going to be more for people who are A, B, and maybe C cup. I do like that you have different options here, but it looks like for the most part, you're going to have an open jacket. You do have for view B, there is a small loop and button detail there, but it doesn't look like you're going to be using buttons as a functioning open up or open and close jacket. So it does look like it's really easy to sew. It doesn't reference whether or not this is an unlined jacket, but it looks like it's going to be an unlined jacket here because it looks very simple and just straightforward. So next we have the New Look in 6788, and I have to say I think this is probably my favorite pattern of the collection. The pattern goes all the way up to a 2XL, and a 2XL, for reference, is roughly around like your size, between your size 20 and I would say 26, depending on how they size the coat. But let's read the description and see what it says here. It says very loose fitting, unlined coat that has double breast button front closure, drop shoulder with shoulder pads, back neck darts, notch collar, side seam pocket, self carriers, belt with purchase side buckle. You have different length variations here. So I do like this, and the fact that it is supposed to be worn as a loose fitting style. I would say you probably could count on this being for someone who ranges in size between like that 24, maybe that 26, I would say, because it's a 2XL. So I do like that they have a bigger range for this coat. That's one of the reasons why I really like it. I also like that it's unlined, so it's not going to be, too burdensome for those of us who want to sew something but don't want to put like a lot of effort into, like extra steps into sewing. So I do like that. And then always you can go back and line the coat if you want to later on. So I do like that about the coat as well. And then you do have, it's double breasted, so you do have 2 rows of buttons. So you do have to pay attention to that if you are someone who don't want to do a lot in the way of button and buttonholes. You do have 2 rows of buttons, and it looks like it's going to be, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 buttons here. So 8 buttons and buttonholes. And it looks like the back of the coat has a what looks like to be similar to a kickback pleat or some type of vent in the back there. And you do have darts on the back of the neckline as well. You do have a collar here. So it looks like it's going to be a notch collar. So I really do like this jacket. I think it's a really nice jacket that we can sew for fall, maybe even winter. So next we have the New Look N6787. So this is a pattern for juniors, and it's a collection of patterns. And so the size range is going to be lower. And I'll put the size range here so you can see what that is. It says that we have corsets that have neckline and trim variations. You have boning and side zipper closure. You also have pants and pleated skirts, and you have a side seam zipper closure for some of your options. And then also you have skirts that have optional trim, and this is rated as average. And as you can see, you have so many different options for corsets. These are like 4 different options here. For your corsets, you have a pair of pants, which is view B. And then for view E, I'm sorry, for your pants, view E. And for view F, you have a pleated skirt there. So I think this is really cute and nice for juniors who are going to prom or going to any kind of special occasions. This would be really good for to sew for those types of individuals. Next, we have another cute little pattern. The description read that we have day or evening dresses that have bodice with princess seams, full skirt, sleeve and neckline variations, and a clutch purse. You have optional self belt with purchase slide belt closure or a sash. And view E, you can make a clutch purse that has a snap closure on it, and it is rated as average. This is another pattern that reminds me of a New Look pattern that came out years ago, especially views A and C and B. So those look very similar to a few patterns that we had years ago. So this might be kind of like a reprint or a reproduction of an older pattern. So just be mindful of that. Look at the details and see in your stash if this is similar to other New Look patterns that we've had in the past. And I'll try to put a couple images here so you can see what that looks like, and so that you can avoid purchasing the same pattern. So lastly, we have this New Look pattern that is, you get 3 different patterns in one envelope. This is the New Look N6785. Come in sizes 10 to 22. You get a dress, a coat, and a jacket. And the description reads that we have a sleeveless A-line princess seam dress that have back zipper closure, and it come in 2 different lengths. You have a long sleeve coat and a jacket that have bust darts, and view E, which is the coat here. So it's a shorter version of the coat. It has a frog closure, and then for view F, this is your matching tote bag that you can sew with it. I do like that you have the sleeveless dress here, because in some parts, especially in the US, in some parts of the US, we are still experiencing temperatures that are high. And so you can definitely sew this set, and you can have the sleeveless dress. And then if you sew the jacket to go with it, you can put the jacket over the sleeveless dress. And so it's really nice for that reason. You can transition using the jacket with the matching dress, which would be really nice. I do like this collection. I think that there are a few patterns here that have promise. Unfortunately, I pretty much have something similar or identical to most of the things in this collection. If I were to buy anything from this collection, it would be the New Look N6788, which is the trench coat, because I don't have a trench style coat like this that's double breasted. So I would definitely pick that up if I were to pick anything from this collection. Maybe even the New Look N6789, which is the princess seam jacket. However, I have to really look at the finished garment measurements on that, because I think I might not be able to fit that in the sleeves because I have a bigger sleeve. I usually have to sew a bigger sleeve, and this come in a size 18. I might not be able to make adequate adjustments to get this, and so I would definitely have to look at that. I do like the New Look in a 6794, but I have a Mimi G pattern that's very similar to this that I still have not sewn, and so I might stick to that pattern if I want to get something that's similar to this. The New Look in 6792, I do like that pattern. I don't think I have anything like this. I'm not quite for certain, so I have to go into my stash and see if I have that. And this is the skirt pattern that have the three different panels that have the little side slit on the side. I think that this is a very cute skirt pattern, and I would like to get this if I don't have it in my stash. I think I have something similar to this, but it is a knit pattern that have the three different panels and the wide waistband. But I don't have this in a that calls for non-scratch woven fabrics. So if I were to buy anything from this collection, it would definitely be the skirt, the New Look in 6792, the trench coat, and possibly the Princess Seam jacket. But again, I have to check and make sure that I don't have that in my stash. This wasn't a terrible collection. It's a decent collection. I would love to see, as I always comment on New Look Patterns, I would love to see them expand and have a plus size, or even, just larger sizes. I think that would be really nice for those of us who need these types of patterns. But we can always go to other brands and see similar or identical patterns. And so that's what I love about the Big Four. If you can't find it in New Look, chances are you can find it with any of the other brands. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review and my commentary on the New Look Fall 2024 patterns. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this collection and if you would be buying anything from this collection. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a blessed and happy sewing week. Bye.